Good day, YouTube. Today, let's talk about a very common topic which has been discussed quite a fair bit but probably could have gotten a little bit more attention, which is the negativity that we often associate with the Marvel Rivals community. The caveat, okay, is that I myself am prone and guilty to a fair bit of swearing and negative behavior through the course of the game itself, par for the course, yeah. So I hands up, I do it from time to time, and we're all trying to be a better person after the game. So let's just discuss a little bit about this topic and see where this leads to. Yeah. The good thing about Marvel Rivals is that they practice heavy censorship within the text box itself. So when I get really heated up, right, and I'm typing in all the swear words in various languages, most of them will just end up in asterisks lah. So that I think is a good way to just curb the inner demon and make sure it doesn't get into gear 5 and go a little bit too far. Yep, just the other day, I think yesterday I was in a server and playing with some Chinese players. They were just talking in Chinese and just basically asking everybody, telling everybody what they should or should not be doing. Problem is, I think most of the other players don't understand Chinese other than myself, so everybody just fuck care them. And they went on a rampage verbally over the microphone. They're like, 干啥？你要干什么? And it also ended up that these two players end up with the lowest score in the game lah. So yeah, it just kind of wraps up a very typical encounter or a very typical game that you might experience in Marvel Rivals itself. And this is just quick match. We're not even talking about the rank play, which I think can actually be more heated and players can take it a little bit more seriously. And I don't know why it's always Spider-Man. Every time you have a Spider-Man in a group, if there's going to be one person that's going to get trolled and hated upon, it's always him. The guy that goes and dives all over the place and doesn't really care where the healers are, where the tanks are, and then keeps asking for help and starts blaming everybody for not backing him up when he does not have too much positional awareness of where he's supposed to be with respect to the rest of the teammates, right? Which brings about to the next point I want to mention, which is actually in this game, yes, individual skills do matter quite a fair bit, obviously, but there are a lot of situations in this game where things are out of your control, and it happens to the best of us, right? You can be a very seasoned, a very experienced player, and you can even try to be telling your teammates what they should or should not be doing in order to complement each other, but there will always be things, people going places where they should not be, or even basic things like the opponent's team have much better team synergy than you do. If, let's say, at the start of the game, your opponents chose characters that give them all kinds of buffs and surpluses which far exceed that of your team's composition, then the results are kind of already written. And you just go in without really knowing that it's imbalanced right at the start. And then, why is it that the opposing side, the tanks can never be taken down? Why are their healers so full of health? Is because of all the team synergies that are already in place. So that the fact that you are out of control over some of these elements may just bring out that rage in you when you cannot seem to explain why you are losing so insufferably, even though you're trying to play your best. And even though you're trying to get your teammates to play their best. I think that builds up the dark side of the force within us, right? And secondly, I think a lot of players in Marvel Rivals, we are casuals, myself included, right? I log in every day to try to play the daily challenge or try to finish my weekly challenge. And if the weekly challenge requires me to play a character that I'm not so comfortable with, then obviously that couple of rounds, I'm not going to be optimal. I'm not going to say I'm going to suck, but I just am not playing the best. Like maybe if I were in a situation where I were to convert to become a healer, that would dramatically help the team. But, to complete the challenge, I need to play as Emma Frost, right? So it's like throwing away that match for selfish reasons. And I'm sure I'm not alone, and this happens all the time. And therefore, some of the matches are just meant to be thrown. So you got to take a chill pill and understand that people have different agendas when they enter a quick match to try to achieve different things, and winning the match may not be the ultimate goal for everybody, right? There's another consideration that I realized after I just read up on Reddit is that this game is actually very cross-generational. not just the fact that different platforms, players with their different quirks and everything just coming to play this game, right? But I have Gen Alpha friends, I have Gen Z, Millennia friends who are playing this game. I'm from Gen X myself. So you have people who are at different stage of their lives, at different mental state of mind. And I'm not saying the worst behaving people are necessarily the youngest. I think some Gen X players can be just as bad as the Gen Alpha players. And so it's in a very quirky mix where different people just react differently to different situations. And so you're bound to have friction. Yeah. Are most shooter games like that? Overwatch gamers just as toxic? For a while, Team Fortress 2 generally quite okay, but I heard bad things about Overwatch, and I think Counter-Strike can be quite toxic as well, especially in a competitive game mode. And is this game really reaching the League of Legends level of toxicity, which is League of Legends is like up there, right? The creme de la creme, toxic of the most toxic. So are we there yet? And are there ways in which we can reduce this kind of behavior if it's even necessary at all? I read on Reddit that some players suggest that maybe players can give each other badges for good behavior, and these badges can be exchanged for points or for free skins in the long run. I don't know. Fuck, this sounds like a damn Singaporean thing to do. Okay, but anyway, yeah, what are your comments? What are your thoughts? Is the game at a good place? Is it negative? Do you have really bad experiences in the recent past? Leave your comments below. Have a conversation about it. I see you in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.